Hello guys, Dominic here, Movement 2117, and today we're here to talk about the film I've seen today in theaters in time. Now, as many might know, a few of the films came out today along with Puss in Boots, I believe, The Rum Diary, and Like Crazy. Now, Like Crazy, I knew it was only in select theaters, so I actually went to see that, but it wasn't a theater near me. I was actually, my first choice was The Rum Diary. That wasn't planned at a later time, and I didn't have a chance because I had to go to work soon, so I've seen in time today. I will see The Rum Diary shortly, hopefully, and do a review on that, but for right now, I'm talking about In Time. Now, going in, this wasn't my first choice. I wasn't, overly excited or, expecting too much from this film because I got a lot of so-so reviews and a lot of different reviews saying different opinions, and this would be a film where you're going to see a lot of mixed reviews on it. So going in, I didn't expect much because I really wanted to enjoy the movie. So I didn't put the movie at a high standard, so therefore, you do what you can take from the movie. I mean, it's starring Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried. Which, Amanda Seyfried, I like an actress a lot. I like a lot of her films. And Justin Timberlake, I think, is a pretty good actor. I mean, he plays in some good films, and then he also plays films where I don't like him as much in them, but he still does good overall. So in this film, both Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried, in my opinion, do a really good job as portraying their roles. And one review in here did say that Amanda Seyfried looks like she's wearing a wig, or something that's a wig throughout the entire movie. You really can't. If it is a wig, you can't tell. If it is a wig, you can't tell. It doesn't it's not very obviously she's wearing a wig. It doesn't look too obvious to me. Maybe it's just my opinion on the thing. But it was definitely, I don't want to say cleverly written, but it was well directed, and the writing was pretty good. It had some pretty good dialogue. But I'd have to compare this film to the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde. It has a lot of the same thing. Like Justin Timberlake's character is pretty much, a poor person comes from, where time is limited, where Amanda Seyfried's character was pretty much set, because her father was like one of the richest time lenders there was, and she could be immortal. And that's pretty much how Justin Timberlake, he's not a bad guy, he really isn't. And throughout the entire, it's not like he was a criminal at all in the film. It actually started with he was actually helping somebody who had over a century to live, and they just wanted to die because they had tired of living. And they were pretty much kind of commit suicide by going into this bad part where there were a lot of time robbers who would rob people for their time and then kill them. And Justin Timberlake pretty much saves his life, even though he knew what he was doing when he went there. Flashing off the time because he wanted to get robbed and killed. And so he ended up giving Justin Timberlake, which Justin Timberlake then flees because people he knows are going to be after him for that time to get him killed. And then that's how he pretty much, a great poker player that he is, goes to the upper, pretty much like the Beverly Hills, I guess you should say, like the rich parts, and pretty much plays poker, loses, and wins back even more time than he originally had. He went playing poker, gambling. And then it kind of, where the time police, I guess, I don't know, they're not called time police, they're called time something, but it's like time police, are going after him. So he kidnaps the daughter, Amanda Seyfried, and they kind of, go and pull some Bonnie and Clyde as time, and the relationship kind of builds. This film was very well paced, I will say that much. That film was very well paced. It definitely had a good pace to it. It wasn't too quick, it wasn't fast moving, and it wasn't like real drag out. A lot of reviews to this film was kind of fast paced, and I didn't see that at all, miss. I thought it was very well played out, how it had a steady pace to the film. And it's kind of how they the relationship kind of grows from first sight they meet. It kind of grows, and they kind of pull some Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, they kind of pull Bonnie and Clyde. They rob these banks to give out time, and they're not like they're giving themselves all this time, because Amanda Seyfried had unlimited time, not unlimited time, but she had a couple of centuries, I think. And Justin Timberlake, after the time people robbed him, all the time he won, didn't have much, but then they got all his time, and they kept robbing it because they were pretty much Bonnie and Clyde. They were robbing these banks, these time banks, to give time out to people who needed it. So it was kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde feel to it, in my opinion. I mean, I know the 1967 film was a lot more in-depth than that. I don't think Bonnie and Clyde actually gave away more money than they actually stole, I don't think. But it kind of reminded me of that iconic Bonnie and Clyde, like the two lovers who rob banks. It's kind of the same thing. I'm not saying going into this film it's gonna be just like the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that, it's a good film. I'm not saying it's just like that, but it has a somewhat feel to that. And it's not directly butt up and butt up, so you can't say this film, is a mockery of Bonnie and Clyde or a spin-off of Bonnie and Clyde, but it has a feel to it. But again, that doesn't say the film was bad because of that. I actually like this movie. And I'm not saying, it's one of the greatest films that it's a must-see or that I'm going to buy on Blu-ray definitely when it comes out. I might pick it up eventually, because it was a fun film that I liked to watch again. But I'm not saying, you know, not for that midnight pick up to buy this movie, or, you know, rush out the first day to buy it on Blu-ray, but it's definitely one to check out. I thought it was a fun film. It had some good acting, some good dialogue, and overall it's pretty well directed. Not the most original film, but it, you know, it's a pretty cool sci-fi film. It's kind of like a sci-fi action, but definitely want to check out. And my total score for this film is definitely 7.5 out of 10 stars. Not the best film, but it was definitely one to check out. So as always, please subscribe, like this video if you liked it, comment below, let me know what you thought of this video and what you thought of this film, or which film you saw this weekend or are going to see, and what do you think it's going to be like. So thanks for watching as always, and until next time.